So let's get into the show. Hope y'all can hear me. Hope y'all coming in, crew. And, nice and clear. I trust that I am. I feel like someone would have texted me by now. Call me or something. Like, yo, you can't hear you. So I just trust that, everything's good. Once again, I appreciate y'all sticking around for current events. I hope you enjoyed the fact that, maybe a little less music, and we're jumping into the show a little bit earlier. But the 5 pillars of successful management is what I'm about to get into. And, the 5 pillars of successful private trust management, the 5 pillars of, successful estate management, successful private estate management. I mean, you can even throw these principles in the public on a public entity and probably be pretty successful as well. Actually, you would be pretty successful. But ultimately, you know where we go. This is the foundation. We understand the foundational stance with regards to commerce and commercial transactions, rest upon trust and banking. We understand these things. So that's what we're looking at. That being said, when it comes to multi-generational wealth, this is really what it comes down to. We understand. I trust that you understand that the worst way to attempt to perpetuate multi-generational wealth is through some sort of legislative entity or some entity that's controlled by legislation. Turn it off, man. Turn this off. That is controlled by legislation because it owes its existence to said legislation. It's one of the worst things to attempt to, perpetuate your family private wealth with. Some sort of public entity. How does that make sense? Public and private does not mix. And we wonder why we are in the situation and circumstances that we are in financially, economically, looking to the public to provide for our private wants and needs. So specifically, when we're dealing with trust management, we talking about private trust management. We all know that we're talking about a private trust. Look, let me digress real quick. I was talking to a client earlier, and one of my I was talking to a client earlier, man. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to say this, man. Ain't no such thing as a common law trust, man. I don't care what nobody says, man. Push one if you want to debate. I don't really participate in public controversy, but I will murder you on this topic right now. I don't think anyone can get at me with this. And it's not about that. It's not about competition. But real talk, there is no such thing as a common law trust, man. Bottom line, let's be specific. Now, if I say common law trust, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, colloquially, he's talking about private trust, some sort of, hey. But, man, look, check this out. There is no such thing specifically as a common law trust. You go in the public and the IRS or, one of these bankers or something, one of these attorneys, somebody, oh, yeah, you got a common law trust? Well, and you be like, yeah, it's a common law trust. You're done, son. Look, there's no such thing as a common law trust. So what is it? Look, it is a contract that exists under the common law right to contract. The common law right is to contract unlimited. So under that common law right to contract unlimited, the execution of a trust contract happens. And due to the common law right to contract privately and the necessary execution or expression of a, contract or a trust contract, there are certain constitutional protections, specifically. No state shall pass any law impairing the obligation of a contract. It doesn't say no state shall pass any law impairing the obligation of a common law trust. Come on, y'all. Look. I know, man, we live in an era of like hella fads. What's cool, what's not cool. We also live in an era where it's like immediate gratification and we all want to feel good and blah, 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 blah. Look, man, most people will hear what I hear and I'm cool with it. Will hear me speak and completely or attempt to completely say word for word what I said, due to the fact that how what I said hit them or how it made them feel. They want to reproduce that and be the person who reproduces that in others. To me, that's faulty, weird, egotistical, immature, infantile. Wow. And run around and say, oh, yeah, man, common law trust, blah, blah, because now I'm talking to you in a way to where it makes me sound real smart and articulate, and I don't care about none of that stuff. I want to do business with my people. I say that every single time. That's the only reason why I'm on this network. I'm looking to do business with my people. I'm structured a certain particular way. Why? Because I was successful and brought a brand international and was talking to some dude, and he told me I need to look into trust. And then everything went in from there. I wasn't in debt. I didn't have no child support. None of that stuff. The only reason why I'm on here is because I want to do business with my people. I'm not on here to be some egotistical dude for you to think I'm cool or call me a prophet or none of that stuff. Matter of fact, I abhor that stuff. People say, oh, you smart, you smarter than me. To me, that makes me feel a certain way because I feel like you're just as smart as me. You just don't believe, therefore you don't try, therefore you don't apply, therefore you don't achieve, which hurts me ultimately inside, because I can only empathize and extrapolate how that would make me feel if I wasn't able to do what I'm doing or even attempt to do what I'm doing or achieve the things that I achieve every single day and the things that I've achieved in my life, which therefore has helped to grow my self-esteem and self-worth. So therefore, I don't care what you think about me, man. You can laugh, cry, whatever, go around the corner so I don't have to see it because I don't really care. People say, oh, man, you're superficial, you're kind of narcissistic. Look, man, look. I believe everyone is responsible for their own life, their own dance. What you do and don't do determine what you do and don't do. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't care what you think. You think I'm cool or not. I don't care. I want it to be sometime, hopefully, in the near future, 5, 10, 15 years, I'm able to come in contact with entrepreneurial spirits that look like me, who understand proper structure, and the proper way to do business, the difference between public and private. And you can be like, yo, I learned it from So L. And look, if I tell you my real name, my actual appellation, and you be like, yo, I learned this from So L, I will smile and never tell you that I'm So L. You see my face on YouTube? So look, there's no such thing as a common law trust. And I'm not saying that so I can be famous and blah, 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 blah. I'm saying that because it's the absolute truth. And I look forward to doing business with you in the future. That's why I step on toes. That's why I do what I do. That's why there's only really 3 things that you can come holler at me for Federal Reserve notes. Consultation, trustee training, private family foundation training. That's it. I don't do nothing else. Oh, yo, let me. I want to do, the business credit and like I'd be like, man, you should get that's included in the training, the trustee training. Like, all that's included. You might as well just get. Why? Because I understand the foundation is trust and banking. I'm sorry for digressing a little bit. I just wanted to let y'all know very specifically that there's no such thing as a common law trust. You have a contract that owes its existence to the common law right to contract, which is protected by Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution, which in part states that no state shall pass any law impairing the obligation of a contract. If you have the properly drafted, crafted, created private contractual entity, it only comes and falls under trust law in 2 spots: how the income is taxed and how it's dispersed. In any other situation, it is a contract. I don't care. You can say Big Bird told me that there's no such thing as a common law trust. And Big Bird told me that, or you could be like, yo, I was sleeping last night and I talked to the ancestors in the ethers and I realized that there's no such thing as common law trust. I don't care how you disseminate what I just told you. All I care is that you understand it and it's repeated. You feel me? Understand it and repeat it. Now, I'm not telling you to run up on people like, yo, man, ain't no such thing as common law trust. Blah, blah, blah. We ain't controversial. But understand what people are attempting to say. You stay specific. And if you come across anyone else who understands that distinction, maybe you should holler at them a little bit more. But, understand that, there's levels to this stuff. And not everybody should be able to just reach out and touch you. Not everybody is on the level. You understand what I'm saying? Now, do you discern that or do you not? If you do not, I wonder how much issue you have with your life. with your, with your dance that you're doing every day. Each one is accountable. Excuse me. I'm sorry, man. One of the main objectives of a trust contract, this is Supreme Court, is to obtain most of the advantages of a corporation, but with the freedoms from the burdens, restrictions, and regulations generally imposed upon them being the corporations. Statutes may authorize limited liabilities of partnerships and corporations, but those statutes do not, by implication, prohibit the creation of contract trusts to enjoy similar immunity by virtue of common law. Do you understand the distinction? I read Supreme Court cases. I'm a nerd. I don't care. Whatever. I don't care what you think about me. I'm just hoping that one day in the future I can do business with you, or one of my heirs can do business with one of your heirs, and not have to deal with all this bull crap and all this funniness that goes on in the public because no one's accountable and it's not my fault. If so and so told me this and blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it just really, really gets old, man. Contract. I'm going to say that again. Statutes may authorize limited liabilities of partnerships and corporations, but those statutes do not, by implication, prohibit the creation of contract trusts to enjoy similar immunity by virtue of common law. There's no such thing as a common law trust. There is a contract or contract trust that exists by virtue of common law. Right to contract unlimited. I hope that makes sense, y'all. But let's get into this. Look, where am I going to start? Let me start, because I didn't even number these things. 5 pillars of successful private trust management, estate management. I don't care. Number 1, governance. Governance. Look, you got legislative entity, you got an LLC, you got a partnership, it's governed by statute. Do you control the statutes? No. Can the House or the Senate of that specific state convene a certain specific session, pass legislation, and have that legislation affect your public entity that you form due to the benefit of a legislative act or whatever? Yes. I'm sorry, no, you don't have control of that. But yes, that can happen. You understand what I'm saying? That's why most times when you see families that have a family business that survived through generations, it's not structured as a legislative body or entity. It's governed by legislation. Governance. What do I mean by governance? Proper governance, private governance, powerful governance, contract. Number 2, management, trustees, agents, administrators, management. Number 2, pillar of successful trust management. You can manage a trust. Is it going to be successful? Trustees, management. Who are they? What do they know? What are their skill sets? Are they accountable? Are they responsible? Are they teachable? Are they going to argue with you when you tell them that, hey, man, I think you did something wrong? I ain't doing nothing wrong. Hey, man, why you talking to me like you coming at me, blah, blah, blah. Management. Or is he like, hold on, I did what wrong? What you mean? Show me. Management. The Board of Trustees entering into business dealings, properly managing the trust. You went to doing a business dealing. Did you execute a contract? Okay, cool. Did you execute a contract between all of the individuals who will be interfacing with the trust. And think about that. We enter into a business dealing. Don't specify the actual terms of reimbursement. Do you specify the terms of embezzlement? Is the management adverse to the trust? Is the management adverse to the family? Do you really understand what adverse means? Initially, if we're thinking in English, adverse means adversarial. Adversarial. Why would I have a trustee that's adversarial to the trust? That's not what I mean. Adverse means legally, in legalese, adverse party, adverse trustee, one who would be adversely affected if one or more of the trustees mishandled, misrepresented, or misappropriated, or mismanaged the trust. One would be adversely affected, ultimately. You can look that up. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be like, just trying to be cool and just saying stuff. Trying to get likes or whatever. Talking about stuff. Governance, management. Number 3, income. Come on, man. Income. You can do business directly with the trust. Like, you don't have to. I got this LLC, and then I put the shares and the membership interest of the LLC in the trust. First of all, I don't like that. I put it in the trust. I don't like that. Specifically, we titled the asset. We titled the property in the name of a trust. I put it in trust. That's actually false. So it's a false, grammatically incorrect statement. Ooh, so he's anal. He takes it too seriously. I'll chill when I got millions. When will you chill? Income. A trust can directly do business as long as the business isn't required to have a license to operate in a municipality, in a city, in a local jurisdiction or national. As long as there's no license, you can't practice law without license. So you can't be like, the name of the trust is private, not public law firm. We private attorneys. Okay, cool. You're done. The word attorney is a commercial term. It's regulated. You can't use that term and advertise that business, that commercial business, without being private licensed with a bar card. We understand that. We understand the distinctions between what a private contractual entity can do as far as business concerned, or what it cannot do. I hope so. Private trust, look, check out last week's show. We talked about endowments. We talked about private placement accounts. We talked about founder stock. We talked about, these wealth building and income generating, transactions. You should check out that show. Income, number 3, the third pillar. Of successful trust management. Income. You ain't got no income, you're done, son. You're done. You're playing games. Why? What if something happens to you? And the successor trustees, they don't generate the same income that you did. And you hand them this trust, they succeed to the management of this trust that has these, this real estate in it and so on and so forth, that has these taxes associated with it, and also has maintenance costs associated with it, probably some sort of electricity, water, utility costs associated with it. And, the successor does not generate the individual income necessary to sustain this private trust. Yeah, I put my property in trust and pass it down to my children. Yo, you might just be passing down a burden, fam. If you haven't properly structured your entity, your estate, if there is not some sort of passive income come to your estate within the first 2 years, you better sit down and figure out what you did wrong. I'm talking about going private. Figure out what you did wrong. If you're in a trustee training, you holler at SOL. Call me. Y'all got my private number. Yeah, all trustees have my private mobile number. Income. Businesses, business itself, business investments. Life insurance policies, endowments, I don't care. Third pillar of successful trust management, a successful estate management is income. Income. You got property, grow apple trees, sell the apples, income. Is that going to sustain the necessary costs and expenses of the estate? I don't know. Maybe it can, maybe it won't. But man, start somewhere. Income is absolutely necessary, which could be a burden for those who are W-2 employees and looking to go private. It doesn't mean it's impossible. Anybody tell you anything is impossible, slap them in the mouth. Tell them Sot said slap you in the mouth, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I see the pain in your face and your eyes, and you look like you feel real disrespected. But Sot just told me to slap you in the mouth, so I apologize for that. Holler at Sot. Critical income, critical. Fourth pillar, education. Look, anybody who, I don't care how many hours you invest in understanding, learning trust administration. Once you stop those hours of investment, you're an idiot. You're stupid. I don't want to deal with you. If you're not looking to continue your education lifelong as an administrator, to successfully manage the estate, to successfully manage the trust, you're playing yourself. Go home and go to sleep. Cover up in your blankie. Because you're not really ready for the real world. Like, look, and those people who I went to high school, I graduated, I'm done. Like, look, I laugh at them and be like, ha, yeah, you're right, that's crazy. Now that you mention it, I guess I never thought about it like that. And they think they're cool and stuff, and they wonder why I never answer their phone call. Why I never respond to their email. I'm not going to argue with you. Be like, what do you mean you went to college and that's the only school you're going to do? You supposed to be kidding, man. I'm not finna argue with you, man. Come on, man. I got no vested interest in you, man. I'm just trying to see if we align. Can we handle something? Can we make a difference together? Can you learn something from me? Can I learn something from you? When you get to talking to those people, oh man, I'm done. I learned everything I need to. Man, look, yeah, you're right, man. That's crazy. Yeah, I never thought about it like that. Actually, yeah. So, anyways, what? I'm gonna change the subject, and I'm gonna Hollywood the mess out of you. Hollywood the shit out of you. I call it Hollywood. Yeah, your people call my people. Well, yeah. And then I can blame it on 4 people. Oh, so I don't know. The likelihood of me ever seeing you again is nothing. 0. Nil. So education is very important. Continuing education is very important. Especially law. Law is a continual growing field. Like, law is always changing, even though there's fundamentals and principles. But, the implication of how private entities and those who administer private entities interface with the public is always going to be, a fluctuating kind of, ever-changing type situation. That's why those of you and those of, we know, like, principles are few, processes are many. So if you don't have the education, if you don't have the foundation, if you're not continuing the education, you're not going to possess those principles. So therefore, you're not going to be able to come up, and create processes or ways of interfacing with the public in your mind, because you have no arsenal, because you have no ammunition, because you haven't been continually investing in your private education. I'm telling you, I'll trick you. I meet you, like, hey, you think everything's going well. I tricked you throughout the conversation to answer a few questions that I needed to know. I'm not going to straight up come out and ask you, because I don't want you to tell me the Hollywood answer. Yes, in my opinion, I feel like people are used to watching TV shows and movies, right? And most people, when you're talking to them, they don't really tell you the truth. They tell you what they think sounds good, that will perpetuate their image of themselves that they're trying to, show to you. If you feel what I'm saying. So, me personally, to ultimately, complete the mission. And what is the mission? I'm an objective-driven, person. The mission is I need some information. What's the best way for me to get this information? To, kind of mask my, inquisitive, attempts at ascertaining the information. So more than likely, I'm not going to straight up come out and ask you, hey, man, what do you think about, continuing education? What do you think about, reading and reading court cases or reading up on that, the Internal Revenue Code, or what do you feel about learning new sales tactics or implementing new platforms and vertically integrating into other different sectors? I'm gonna ask some questions, and I'm gonna very keenly gauge your response. And if you're not open to any type of learning, if you a Mr. or Mrs. Know-it-all, I'm going to satiate your ego. I'm going to appease and I'm going to Hollywood you, and I'm going to move around. I'm going to dance, slide slid. No disrespect. I ain't got time. Well, education is a must. If you're in the private, you continue to learn. If you're in the private, you are always adding to that private library of the family library. Whether it's the family botanical library, you got to have that. You got to have a family grammatical library, etymology library, law library. You have to have this family library that consists of multitudes of subjects that are important and have significance, not only in the family itself, but in the fundamentals of understanding of interacting as the family with the public. Grow botanicals, grow your own, hey, I grow my own mint and basil and stuff like that, pineapple mint and these strawberries, man. Hey, why not? But this stuff is important, and that's all about education. If you think that someday you don't have to learn no more, man, you just hey, sit down, man. Go lay down. So education, fourth pillar. And fifth pillar, which I think is a very, very important pillar, is succession. All the work that you put into reestablishing your private estate, all the work that you put into the private contract indentures, making sure that the jurisdiction or venue that was invoked in the contract that cannot be impaired is the proper venue and jurisdiction to invoke. Having the proper stipulations, indemnities, so on and so forth, powers, abilities within the contract itself. Having multiple layers of the trust estate. I got the business trust, the asset protection trust, the family trust. I got the private family foundation. It's 501c tax exempt. And through the way of movement or maneuvering of the certain structure of all of these entities, I've reestablished the private estate, my family, and so multi-generational wealth. I got an endowment, that's kicked back 10% on the original donation, which, we received a charitable deduction for when we put the money in there. The trust is receiving interest on the deposit indefinitely. Got the life insurance, the key man insurance over here. Got popping in the foundation. We even got one in the family trust. So if anything happens, because I got a couple of properties over here mortgaged, I want, them to be able to pay off the mortgage with, the death benefit, and not have to worry about debt and stuff. Man, I got this. It don't mean nothing if you haven't procured proper succession. They're going to turn around and go hire an attorney because attorneys know and we don't know. And And they're going to show the attorney all the stuff that you left. And the attorney's going to take it back, to his boss and ask for, advice. And they're going to probate the mess out of this estate. Why? Because the successors were incompetent. The successor trustees were incompetent. The first trustee, the first board of trustees, very, very knowledgeable. These guys, and there were some sisters on there. They were killing it. Very knowledgeable. They didn't teach the successors enough. They were so caught up in administering the estate and, making sure it's successful, and, we got all the investments and we got the life insurance. We got everything. We got to pop it. We got to pop it. We had a private placement that got with the Boys and Girls Club. We got it popping. But we negated to properly instruct and teach the successor trustees. So when they came on to the trust as successors, not only are they dealing with, the loss of a family member, possibly a parent, and every time they look at the house or they look at the car, they think of the parent, and it causes them sorrow and, oh my God. And not only that, but I got to administer this thing. I really don't know what I'm doing. That's what Dad did. That's what Big Mama knew. I don't know this stuff. I'm supposed to do this without you. I can't even figure out how I'm supposed to do this. So they're going to go hire an attorney, man, which is going to give jurisdiction to the state. Why is it going to give jurisdiction to the state? Because that attorney, more than likely, is going to have your successor fill out either a power of attorney for the trust or have them named as a trustee. And because they're a U.S. citizen or they're acting under a United States regulated industry known as practicing law, they have a lawyer bar card, that gives jurisdiction to the state. Because now there's a state actor that is directly involved with the administration of this trust. Now it's going to be probated. Ay, 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 ay. Succession will be the fifth pillar when it comes to the 5 pillars of successful private trust management. You can add some, you can take some away. Hey, man, as long as you get the overall understanding so you can ascertain and then maintain your overall overstanding. And know that, yeah, it's cool, trust is cool, private is cool, they can't do nothing, I'm powerful, I'm private. But, with great power comes great responsibility. And I think a lot of people aren't really taking into consideration just how time-intensive, study-intensive, labor-intensive, value-intensive, resource-intensive going private actually is. And really, if you don't do it correctly, there's so many ways we can make mistakes. We got to choose the right mentors. And then we run the risk of, am I creating a burden for my heirs? It's something that we got to think about. It's something that I feel like a lot of people don't think about. I'm just trying to put it into my common law trust and my 9(8) number. I feel like, not even luckily, because I deal with manifestation. I deal with the law of attraction. So I don't really get people who come at me with that 9(8) number and I want to put it. I'm gonna put that in the trust, and I don't really deal with people like that. I don't feel like I attract those type of people. I'm not caught up in the hoopla of, I'm gonna discharge a Maserati, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I got time for wasting time. That's the best way I could put it. But I trust that, I really trust that you gained some insight, some knowledge. You were able to take away at least something significant, from your time checking out this show, The Foundation, 5 Pillars of Successful Trust Management. We got about 7 minutes left in the broadcast. If you're listening on the internet and you want to call in, because I will stream just a little bit. go over just a little bit. 424-222-5250. You are listening to the hottest radio network on the planet. High Frequency Radio Network. The hottest, the baddest, the illest. Let me take a couple calls. I mean, was that it? I feel like I had something else I wanted to say. Did I say everything? Oh, I wanted to throw out a little tidbit. I'm just gonna say it. Y'all can do with it what you want. You know, hey, you know, I'm just a messenger. Just a messenger. I think maybe the next show I'll do the 3 essential elements of wealth preservation. But these were the 5 pillars of multi-generational wealth, or the 5 pillars more specifically of successful trust management, which will equally translate into my multi-generational wealth. But I'm gonna tell you honestly, I'm feeling kind of a certain way that I'm coming up with my own stuff. I'm so used to reading, but I have been working on my own trust manual. It's just weird, you know. It's interesting. I love it though. But yeah, let's check this out. Phone lines, man, what's going on with y'all? Oh, I'm confused. Shout out to Blog Talk. I love y'all interface. I love how it just freezes up and then it just doesn't do anything. Oh, maybe they heard me. 929-405. Nope. Oh, okay. Can I take callers? Nice switchboard. Look at all these callers that I can't interact with yet. All right, so 929, I'm going to have to come back to you. I see you, though. Let me try 215. Let me see this work. 215-1303. Peace, what is your name and where are you calling from?
Peace, so this is Brother E calling from Philly.
Hey, peace, family. How you doing?
Good, man. Hey, man. Yo, good show, bro. No bars. Bars, bro.
Good looking, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, really appreciate the message tonight, man. Like I was saying, you was really dropping it tonight. Oh, man, just so many points that got me excited when you was, talking about it. Like, I don't know if you eat salads or not, but have you ever eaten a salad and just like it was a good salad and you like man, that tastes so good, and then you like, well, it was really good for me too. It was like that kind of feeling. Whole show, man.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate it, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but with the information too, it's like I came up with an analogy. It's like playing the game. It's like we all playing the game, and we're playing the game against the computer. The computer is called the system. And it's like system so cleverly put a skip button where the part before you actually start the game where you can adjust the settings and stuff. System put a skip button right there where you could, put the skip button right in front of your face. You can press that instead of going down to the little gear that's in the corner, that's the settings icon, and properly adjusting your settings. Like when you press that skip button, the system go ahead and just give you lesser positioning what you would have if you would just look inside of the settings. And this information here, it's the big bro shows you out here like, yeah, look at the button in the corner, you can adjust the settings. You don't have to just be anything. You can actually play the game instead of being a part of the game. And people used to that, bro.
Right. Nah, I appreciate it, man. I like that analogy. But yeah, I definitely, I feel like you're absolutely right.
The last thing is, I did. I spent some time with that document that you sent me. That had 2018 in the title. I'm not sure if you remember or not.
You said the document what?
Yeah, you sent me you emailed me a document and told me to read it and get an understanding of it. And I told you I was going to spend the weekend with it. It's got 2018 in the title. It was on the private.
Oh, okay.
But I was just, yeah, I was telling you I spent some time with it, so I'm going to come at you tomorrow, but, get with you tomorrow to kind of tighten my situation up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had some things on there that I was definitely in ignorance on some things, but, that's the part of, coming to reaching out to you, point the proper direction to get the information. It's up to the participant to actually get the information, because if you do it, then we're not actually learning. But, you're doing the role of a good big, good steward of humanity, and simply point the direction, like, listen, this information is available. We're going to get played right now in our current state, and here's some information that could definitely better your situation, and definitely the message of the show, better the situation of your, not sure, progenitors, your generations to come. Imagine, your children being able to, like, play Mario, being able to start Mario with the glowy star, like, this monster to jump off you and stuff. It's just like the information here, like, if we learn this, we'll be able to set our children up to play this game with, no handicap on it, and be able to run through this thing.
That's the goal, man. That's the goal. Takes a lot of effort, though. Absolutely. Well, yeah, hit me up, man. Let's go over it, man. I appreciate you calling in, man. Let me get to these other callers. Let me get up out of here, man. So I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. And, yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace, bro.
My man sounded like he was, on his second lesson in that single engine plane, getting his pilot's license. It was kind of hard for me to understand the brother, but that's a cool brother, man. He's a really good brother, man. And yeah, man, I appreciate you calling in, man. Next caller, 214-2375. 214-2375. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, so this is Deontay from Texas. Huh?
What's up, family? How you doing?
Oh, not too much. I'm taking your advice, breaking my neck out here on a second off the clock grind. But I just wanted to give a testimonial to whoever's at home listening that was in a situation like me over the past few months that's just been waiting for a reason to pull the trigger. And it's one of the best things I ever done. You easy to get in contact with, you follow up with the people, give us a lot of good resources. So whoever that is sitting at home that's thinking about it, just pull the trigger on it and get it done. Because you got to take care of yourself. Nobody else is going to do it for you. That's all I had.
Appreciate you, man. You talking about trustee training, right?
Talking about trustee training. I'm talking about getting in these archives. I'm talking about the PDF section. Like, if you're just at home listening, casually doing something, you need to get a little bit more involved with your own self.
True indeed.
And do whatever it takes to get it paid for.
I agree, man.
Yeah, but I just want to give a testimonial because, again, I listened for a long time before I decided I was even going to shoot that first email. And I'm so glad I did, and it was worth all the time listening to the information that you dropped and all of that stuff. But I got to get back to this grind. As you can tell, I'm kind of winded.
Hey, I appreciate you calling and chiming in, family, and giving that testimonial, man.
Definitely. Yeah.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
Peace to you. Peace to all the trustees. Very welcome.
Absolutely. Peace. I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good.
All right. Peace. All right. Is it going to let me keep going? Yes, it is. 929. I got you. 929-4056. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Peace, my brother Sot. This is Sister Yvette. Peace, communities, kings and queens. My brother, that was a platinum teaching tonight. That was the icing on the cake for my brothers and sisters to understand the more of the need to get into trustee training, because like you said, the 5 pillars, it has to be a mindset. It has to be I want to go further. But in the process of you going further, who are you going to take with you? Because they have to have that mindset too. They have to put that grind in too. So it's not just about going and getting your degree from the colleges. It's not about having the stellar jobs that's paying the 6 figures. It's about getting in that trustee training and getting the full altitude, I should say, because it's a high that you get on when you get this knowledge that the public doesn't know about. It's a different mindset, a different lifestyle. It's a hunger. It's like when you first learn how to drive. It's that hunger that you want to drive. It's like when you first get married. It's just that first high and everything. And once you get that high of trustee training, you can't get off it. Yes. Is it a sacrifice? Yeah, it's a sacrifice, kings and queens. But it's not for naught. Trust me. The gentleman that called in, the trustee, he knows. He's right. That's the training. That's the training. That's that Sunday grind every day to be studying, to be diligent about what you want to do with yourself, with your ears. What do you want to do? Yes, contract is the law, brothers and sisters. When you on these jobs, you're in contract. When you go to these banks, you're in contract. When you have these credit cards, when you have these mortgages, these car notes, you are in contract for those who are getting rich off of you. Get into contract for yourselves. Get into your trustee training, because we don't know how long my brother's going to be around. Like I said, it's a lot of imitators, and they are coming out the woodworks, but they can't authenticate you, my brother. And the nuggets you dropped tonight, whoever's listening on this line, if you don't sign up for trustee traineeship now, don't even bother. If you didn't start off your LLCs, your business, if you didn't get your 9(8) in, if you didn't get your documents in order, Monday's your deadline. You want to play? Continue playing, because this is real. You can't turn. Once you enter into that, you can't turn back. It's no turning back. So, kings and queens, all the communities that are listening tonight, get your trustee traineeship. I'm telling you, it's the best investment. It's better than a college education. It's going to take you from the public into the private, and it's going to be well worth it. When you get there, don't forget about the ones that you left behind. My brother, in the private, I appreciate you. I love you, my brother. Keep doing the good work. They coming. Kings and queens, get into the traineeship. Peace, my brother. Peace, kings and queens. Peace, communities.
Peace, sister. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Love you too. Yup, definitely appreciate that. Testimonial. And I mean, I couldn't have said it better. I'm gonna pull in one more caller. This is my guy who knows the deal. He's from Brownsville. Peace, Dar. How you doing, fam?
I'm all right, so L. How you doing? I don't have too much to say. She did say something about like the 13th. I just wanted to know, want you to fill people in on what's happening the 13th. I'm all right. So how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Absolutely
That's
wonderful,
good.
man. Thank you very much.
You will. I might come out there and move out there where you at. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. But so listen,
Yeah,
I'm gonna let you say a little bit about what's coming up the 13th. That's only if you feel like saying something about it. And I'm always love you. That
Absolutely, love you too, family. Yeah. Yep.
And I'm gonna let you do what you do.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate you calling in,
You're
brother.
And
Per the brother's request, what's happening on the 13th is starting, May 13th, the Internal Revenue Service will no longer issue EINs unless you furnish a Social Security number or individual tax identifying number or taxpayer identifying number.